completes the scene. Okay. That sound is off. Will I be able to see? I should be able to.
Trollord Games, join the fray.
Oh, wow. It has me standing up. There we go.
Oh, there's Steve. He popped in quickly. All right. Well, interesting how that did that. It actually has got us all on there. I was wondering to see how that would look with three of us in here because I had it set up for two, but whatever.
I'm like half on. That's all right.
No, I'm getting ready to disappear. So, because I'm not the star.
Because Chuck's an evil person. That's why.
Yeah.
Because I realized my fan wasn't on high because it's so hot up here and I have shorts, so I had to hit the ceiling fan higher up there. So
hey, Steve, just real quick, your mic sounds like it does the other way. You know how sometimes it sounds funky?
How's that?
Oh my God, I got a chub.
That sounded awesome. That sounded good. I'm trying to get my host up since it's the auto host does not work.
Well,
anymore.
Chuck, there's room for you in there if you want to hang out.
You sure? Because I'll
Sure. Jay, do you mind?
No. Chuck's like good for another 10 to 20 viewer average.
There you go. If you shrink me down, you can get us.
No, that's good. Wait a minute. I gotta figure out which way to slide.
No, I can
here.
fix it. It's not hard. It's not
I
hard
slid
to fix
this
it.
way.
No,
Can't see my shield. That's
no,
fine.
no,
We're
it's
good.
okay. I can fix it. I need to fix it anyway. It looks weird. So y'all go ahead and talk. I'm Chuck Cumbo, and this is Stephen Chenault.
Yeah, just shrink me down there. Yeah, sorry, I'm late today. Had a little bit of a mishap on our cutter, and Mark Sandy, who knows all the ins and outs of that machine, doesn't really work with us very much anymore. He came in to look at it real quick, so I could not pass that up. He found what was wrong. Now we can fix it, which is good. Yeah. So today we're skipping our normal Ask Me Anything, and Jay is joining us, Lord Gazumba, from the world of. Can I say it, Greyhawk? Can I say that? Is that legal?
Oh, sure. They're not going to come after you yet. No, it's going to take a little bit more than that.
Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, we could look at that. That looks awesome, Chuck. Look at that. Perfect. Now I can slide back to my normal position here. There we go.
Yeah, we can all relax.
Yeah.
And I'll keep this mic near me so I can talk into it. But today we're going to officially talk about movies. We always end up talking about movies, but today it's official. So we'll probably end up talking about video games or something. But we'll try to stay on target.
You never know.
I told somebody earlier, we're like, it's movies, and I was like, no, it's going to be everything before it's over with.
Bounces all over the place. I mean, that's just the way things happen, right? I mean, you start in a conversation and you just end up, you know how it is. It just depends on who's in the conversation.
And these hobbies are so intertwined. I mean, from RPGs to board games to Star Wars, whatever it is, it's just one giant ball of string, I think. And we're all part of it. Whatever you get into, whether you're a Star Wars guy or a fantasy guy like me, it doesn't matter.
You can see my posters in the background there. I got those nice art posters. Yeah. So
is that the poster from A New Hope? Is that the?
No, these are the originals. There, I got these. You got Kirkland's in your area. It's a chain.
No.
They're actually like on thick board. It's like 2 inches thick on the back, nice. And they didn't make a third one though. So I got the original, original Star Wars and original Empire Strikes Back there. But
I remember. I'm sure you remember this, Jay. I don't remember a lot about Star Wars when it came out. I remember standing in line. It's 1977 or 76 or whatever. I do remember standing in line. And all of the memorabilia, the only memorabilia I bought, of course, in those days it wasn't memorabilia, it was just merchandise, was the puzzle. I think it was a 1,000-piece puzzle of that poster behind you. I still have it somewhere. The box is crushed.
Oh, that's it. There goes that value.
Yeah.
Need that box. They need a mint box.
Yeah, no, it's not a mint box.
Yeah, or have that little Boba Fett that had the detachable missile on it. That's worth like $1 million now, or something crazy.
Yeah, there was a misprint or something.
Yeah, there was one. They did one a prototype mini. They go, kids are going to swallow this and choke to death. We better not make this. Just so yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I got a few of the toys left from my childhood. I've got this. I don't know what show it's from. It's a Japanese anime show, I guess, or something. But it's maybe 2 feet tall. It's this robot. And his fist has a missile launcher on it, and it shoots these missiles off of it. I still have 5 of the missiles or something, but I think it got pulled for a swallowing issue after it had been out for a year or something.
Oh, wow.
That. Yeah. It's
Bill Master Crafter.
Hey, Bill. Oh, he changed his name. I didn't realize.
Yeah, because I told all my guys, the audience wants to know who the hell you are. So make your name so that they know who you are. And he put down Bill the Master Crafter. We got the Ever Mysterious Tim.
Right. Okay.
Tom the Vindicator. Yeah.
All right. That makes more sense now. It'd be easier to follow everybody now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but as far as my early toys, my gosh, I don't have that many. My mother threw out everything of my existence at that house, and Bill will verify it. So there's nothing left there. So
my dad was in the service, so we moved a lot, and every time we moved, things would disappear. Oh, the movers must have taken them. He threw them in the dumpster as we were loading boxes. I know what he did.
Exactly, and that's what happens. I had to get everything out of that house, or it was scoured clean. And that's why my house. I have so much shit in my house now, everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, now I don't know what to do with the toys that did survive. I don't know what to do with them. My kids aren't interested even vaguely.
No,
really?
That's what I thought too. I'll hand these down.
Yeah, I don't
shit less. They're like, whatever. They're like, what are you doing with this trash in your house? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, memories. That's great.
Yeah, right.
I have $150,000 addendum on my homeowners for my basement.
Oh, I know. That's insane. You have to,
just in case. Yeah.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if you had to go back and reorder all that? Like, say I'm just saying.
Well, a lot of it's custom craft work by Bill, especially, and all
You'd
that
have to be
stuff.
Like, Bill, guess
paint
what?
jobs. There's 20. There's got to be 5,000 painted miniatures and another 15,000 plastics. Or something. It's just nuts. I mean, just when you think about accumulation of stuff. But see, we're already talking about something besides movies.
Bear, thanks for the sub, by the way, buddy. I saw that.
Hey, Dale.
We did start on Star Wars. So let's start with, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think this is the quintessential 80s fantasy movie that everybody's saying.
I want to hear this.
I think that everybody but me, and I think maybe you, Jay, really like this movie. Sword and the Sorcerer.
Oh, my God. Why would you bring that up? Oh, my
I love
God.
that.
Listen.
So, okay, I think I'm alone in my dislike of that movie.
No, I loved it until the moment I watched the Riff Tracks version because I couldn't find a regular version on on Roku. And I was like, oh, here's the Riff Tracks version. It'll be a little funny. We were like 10 minutes into it, and Stephanie was like, what is this shit? I was like, I don't know. I remember a completely different movie as a kid, like classic, awesome, not that. Not copy and paste graphics or whatever it is. It's the sword and all that.
Isn't that the one with Richard Mole, the guy from Night Court, is the bad guy, Bull?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess he is with all that makeup on. Yeah, the wizard guy. Yeah.
I don't remember much about the movie. I remember watching
Krull.
Yeah. Krull's another one up there.
Yeah, I went on a whole binge trying to watch these old movies with Steph, right? And she was just like, I was like, well.
You really got to be in the right frame of mind because, of course, it's the 80s, so special effects aren't what they are today, of course, And I can let a lot of that stuff go. I don't really care. I can look at, like, one of my favorite movies is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh, my gosh.
I love that movie.
So I actually, Steven, I actually used the song Puberty Love in a D&D stream just recently.
Oh, that's great. That movie is so ridiculous.
It's so terrible. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I don't really mind it bad, but I think what broke me on Sword and the Sorcerer was the sword itself. When he
launches it. Oh my God. That's really, you're right. That's kind of where it lost me too, because I was just like in horror. Because I remember telling her, he's got this killer magic sword and it flies and kills things. That's all I could remember. And then when I saw it, I was just like, It's
got 2 blades, right? 3 blades. 2
Yeah.
Yeah, one from the bottom and one from the. Yeah, it was just it was too much for me.
It was good. I mean, Campy's not bad.
No, Campy's not.
No, it's actually really good.
The only thing that I think that broke me on that movie was somewhere, and I've talked about this on my stream before, but somewhere in the 70s or so, Davis and I started gaming in like 75 or 76, 77. I don't really know. And I remember I was using a Vorpal blade and rolled a natural 20 on a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Well, in those days, Davis was a huge dinosaur fan, and I can still see it to this day. His face just changed, and his game shifted into this kind of realism mode, away from just crazy, goofy shit. And so from that point forward, our D&D games were kind of realistic. He started bringing in all kinds of stuff. And I think that I just had just enough of that in me when Sword and the Sorcerer came out and that rocket-propelled sword shot off of the pommel. And just like, I can't do this. This is too much.
Yeah. But who was it? Asher made a good point in chat. The Sinbad movies, they were out earlier than that. The Harry Housen stuff, and they were killer.
Yeah, then Clash of the Titans came out, and that was like awesome. Yeah, and it was the same.
Clash of the Titans was good. Yeah, now there's a few of those Sinbad movies that are kind of not good, but Seventh Voyage of Sinbad is really good. That's got the Cyclops fight, right? The Cyclops and the dragon on the beach. I think is that stop motion? I get all those.
Yeah, it's what's called stop motion.
It's almost
where
a claymation type. Yeah,
it's claymation almost, but not quite.
Similar.
Yeah, those are badass, and really, if you look at the Sword and the Sorcerer, it's pretty cool, except for the sword for me. It's where the sword, I'm like, what are we doing with this thing? Krull was pretty cool. I didn't really like the flying, whatever the hell that was. But the movie was all right. I don't really remember much about Krull. I saw someone mention it in the.
So let me ask you guys a question. Do you remember the movie Dragon Slayer?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So I shit you not. That movie scared the living hell out of me. I was scared of the dragon when I was a kid. I remember being scared 80s. Of it. Yeah, but they really built that up in the movie.
Yeah.
And
it's great dragon animation.
Yes, absolutely. That's one of my favorite 80s fantasy movies. If not, probably Legend is probably my favorite. But absolutely love Legend. But Dragon Slayer was done insanely well. The wizard, everything is kind of low key, right? I mean, the wizard he's like Gandalf. He's not flying around doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Well, he's not even in most of the movie.
No.
Yeah.
Like the wizard. That's him,
I still can't get over the biscuit from Ally McBeal's that same character, right? The fro.
Now you're ruining my immersion. Now you're ruining my immersion, bro.
Yeah. I mean, so.
And Ally McBeal was huge, so you couldn't miss it. You
just couldn't miss it. Bill said the first topless scene. I'm telling you what, those movies. When you said Clash of the Titans, a little funny story here. It's not really funny, but it is kind of funny. So. Back in my previous career, I was a school teacher.
Dragonheart, right? Nice.
And so I was in charge. I was working at a school for at-risk kids, and I had volunteered to work some weekends as a staff member, not as an actual teacher, but just to kind of be on the dorm with the kids, right? Because they lived there. And I thought, man, I'm with the young kids. I'm going to teach them something cool. I'm going to get them into D&D. I'm going to get them into these old movies. So I went out and I got a copy of Clash of the Titans and brought it in to these kids who were like 8, 10 years old, right? Now they'd had a lot of rough things in their lives, So one of them was actually an alcoholic, believe it or not, at 10 years of age. It was sad. It really was. But I thought I'm gonna show them something they didn't grow up watching these kind of movies, So I put in Clash of the Titans. We're all sitting around watching it. It comes on, and the first thing you see is her breastfeeding him. And all I could do was look up at the cameras, and I knew that I was doomed. I knew I was going to jail. I knew that very minute. I had been betrayed by Clash of the Titans,
Beastmaster has Tanya Roberts basically in the new
Well, that's true. I mean, there was just no filter back in those days on these.
Dragon Slayer's got a full nude scene, right? When she's swimming, I think she takes a bath or something, so there's a full nude in that. With those movies, I think they tried to do the adult stuff a little bit, right? To appeal to
that was a big thing in the 80s, though. A lot of those movies that really, what's her name did, The Barbarian Queen and all those that were like those really C-level movies always had a lot of nudity in it. And also the one with David Carradine. Oh, my God. What the heck was the name of that one? It was terrible. Oh, my gosh. It was terrible. I can't even remember.
I can't remember. I know exactly. I got a scene in my head that I can remember.
Yeah.
Where he's just kind of cavorting around.
Yeah. Oh man, because she's in that one too. Yeah.
So
but I love.
Do what?
No, I think she got murdered or something too. That was just the
really?
one. Yeah, afterwards. Oh my gosh, I thought I had it here on my list, but I can't find it. It's not Blade Master. This is gonna drive me crazy. All right, well, I'll look and see if we can find
Hey,
it.
Cathar. Yeah, Chuck here say he made a good point about a lot of these old campy movies. At least
Hey, Rob.
You can kind of escape from all the seriousness of the world. At least nowadays, you look back on this. As kids, we didn't. I don't know about you guys, but we didn't have all the social media in our face, so we didn't know about. I mean, we might have known a little bit about what was going on, but not like now. Now it's you can't get away from it unless you just live off the internet.
The Warrior and the Sorceress. That was it. The Warrior and the Sorceress.
I remember that vaguely. I remember that. Yeah.
Is she the one in She? Was she the one in She?
No, the one in She is Sandal Bergman. She was also in Conan, and she was also the baddie in Red Sonja.
Okay, I think I get her mixed up with Tanya
Sandal Bergman. Yeah.
Now that Red Sonja movie was a pretty good movie. It was all right.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It was a little, it was the little kid with it. It was basically an Asian, prince or something. That was, and he had the big bone. It was interesting.
And it was weird that Arnie played someone that wasn't Conan because whoever owns Red Sonja and someone owns this or whatever.
Right. They didn't want Conan overshadowing it, so it wasn't Conan. It would have been great. I think it would have been done much better if it was Conan. So, but there's a lot of those fun crossover movies back then. So here's my. This one's a kind of a D&D movie. All right. And Bill's going to hate me for this, but here we go, Steven. Name a movie that has one, Stephen King in the movie.
Oh, wow.
2, was done by George Romero. 3, oh, Dale, you got it. How's jousting?
Oh yeah, they're already hollering in this.
They've already dropping the name.
Oh, they knew right away.
They knew. Has jousting on motorcycles.
And you know why Jay brought that up? Because he has a poster of it hanging on his wall downstairs.
I do downstairs, and four has a big time actor in it, right? Huge. Oh gosh, my brain just shut off. Yeah, and that is Knight Riders.
Yeah, great.
But it's a testament to these movies that all of these people in the stream here can remember them. I mean, they're jumping.
And
it's all we had.
And Great Bait made a good point about all this. Is if looking back, even the movies that I'm going to mention were a little later than the ones we're talking about. Still, you notice none of us are bringing up any of the D&D movies whatsoever. They weren't even like campy fun. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm really.
So correct me, because there's only 3 D&D movies, right? And they're kind of modern-esque. Is that right? There's nothing from the 80s really D&D. Not officially D&D, right?
No, they tried to make them. Yeah, they're newer. They're in the 90s up, basically, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, they were not.
They had some guy who was a knockoff of Keanu Reeves. I don't even know who Justin Whalen or something. Like, who is this guy? It was brutal.
What was going on? That I couldn't get over. And this is one of the things about me. I have this huge suspension of disbelief. I really do. I can watch just about anything and enjoy it. You can ask my wife. I'll just watch. I just like movies. I like TV and movies and all this crap. But there are certain things occasionally that pop up that just break me out of the whole thing. And I think it's the first D&D movie. The guy's lips were blue for no reason. I didn't understand it.
What movie was this?
In the first D&D movie.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that now. Because he's got that odd look. Yeah.
Haven't talked about Hawk the Slayer yet. So, yeah, someone brings up, well, we got a D&D movie with Tom Hanks in it.
We do?
I don't think I ever saw that. What is that movie called?
Mazes and Monsters.
Mazes and Monsters.
Christ. Yeah, I've seen it.
It's also got Chris Makepeace in it, too, from, who did a ton of stuff in the late 70s.
Did you see Mazes and Monsters?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. So Tom Hanks is the main character, and he goes insane. It's every bad thing about what's going to happen to you playing D&D.
Yeah, that's all it's about.
He actually sees monsters and stuff, and he becomes the character. Yeah,
starts hallucinating, then becomes psychotic.
That's right after the whole sewer thing. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what they would do.
Whatever.
They would basically LARP. They'd go down and pretend.
Yeah, they would basically go down and LARP in this
in the
cavern
tunnels and
sewer
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
You know, a good friend of mine, I'm sure you know him, Derek Wyatt, the Geek Preacher. He's doing a documentary on this what is it called? The Satanic Panic or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I got to say, kudos to my parents because we started playing D&D and war games long. They didn't give a crap. No. I don't think my parents never said a word.
No, we had a couple families in our neighborhood, but for particularly for the most part of it, we just ended up moving to. We finally just settled on my house actually, which made sense since I was running the games. But back when we first started, we were kind of moving around because some of the parents were a little worried about it or whatever. It didn't help any, when I come, prancing into the room with this cover. Hey, look what we've got to play today, that is. In Southwest Virginia, Northeast Tennessee Baptist country. This did not go over well with some of the people.
I don't.
My grandmother had a heart attack.
Heavy metal at the time, and heavy metal in the 70s was
the magazines.
It's evocative.
Absolutely.
It's good. It's great. It's got a lot of adult content in it, but I always recommend the early heavy metal. Some of the stories in heavy metal are fantastic.
Man, you got to be kidding me. They're fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing like the goobly.
I loved all the old magazines. Stuff. All the old magazines were killer. The Dragon magazine, Dungeon magazine, Heavy Metal,
Epic magazine.
Polyhedral was okay. I mean, they were all those. I could think of what else to be listed. What other magazines were there that weren't gaming based? Let's see.
Epic magazine, Epic and Heavy Metal were our big ones. Those were good. Epic was a Marvel thing, and Heavy Metal's. I don't know who did Heavy Metal.
Early White Dwarf was good. Yep, that's for sure. That's a good one.
Yeah,
there were some killer magazines.
White Dwarf was hard to get a hold of unless you knew where.
Yeah, White Dwarf was really hard to get a hold of. I never watched Mazes and Monsters, and I think it's because I just didn't care. The only thing that the Satanic Panic impacted me, I just remember, and you guys probably remember this. Everywhere I would go, those stupid little pamphlets would pop up. They somehow got our address, so we would get about once a month. We'd get an envelope filled with stupid crap from this church or whatever. I remember once we were somewhere in God knows where, Kentucky, I don't know. And I get out of my dad's truck. I'm 14 or whatever, and I go to the bathroom in a gas station. And on the back of the toilet is one of these little pamphlets for the safety. D&D will kill you. I'm like, what? I'm just trying to go to the bathroom.
or Dark Dungeons. Did you ever see that one? They used to put that inside the books.
Yeah. Yep. So, some of those out there are crazy. Like that one. I know you've seen that one they did with the witch and all that. That was insane stuff.
Some of it's nuts. So when that movie came out, I don't think it just never appealed to me. So I didn't ever watch it. I never went back to it because I watched all of these others. Hawk the Slayer, whatever. And enjoyed them. They're pretty cool. I mean, they're other than
Jack Palance.
Jack Palance.
Oh yeah, Jack Palance is awesome.
Yeah, they definitely invented a lot of that, and, which is kind of ironic since it's a role playing game that they're against. I don't know. Anyway.
Speaking of remakes, I don't know where I heard this, that they're going to do another Hawk the Slayer. Someone's doing it.
Really?
That's what I heard. Like it's a sequel. Now John Terry, who. I don't know how old he is now. It had to be another actor, but yeah, I heard that through because what's coming out? There's a big thing that they're remaking too. Highlander.
Highlander,
we're gonna do Highlander. So Hawk the Slayer's in comic book from the new sequel. Thank you, Ramon. All right, there you go. It's comic book. Did you see the boys? Yeah, the boys have a comic coming out too.
Who?
The boys. Yeah, or the superhero baddies.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
have you not seen it, Steve? First time I watched it, I watched about 3 episodes. I couldn't get into it. The second time I went back and watched it,
oh my god,
I was hooked. I was hooked.
Yeah. I've learned to do that. Push through the first couple of episodes. Let them get their sea legs, and it's much. The Witcher, I couldn't get into The Witcher.
I was the same way, but I guess I hear if it's worthwhile if you watch it long enough. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it on my list of 1,000 shows to watch now. I got rid of cable, and now I can't handle all the shows. I can't handle them all.
So one last thing on the Satanic Panic. We had our younger player, Marco. Chuck remembers Mark. He wasn't allowed to play D&D. So when he came over, we would play Aftermath, which is way worse. Way more realistic, Steven. I mean, that is like that's like post-apocalyptic. How bad can you get? D&D's fantasy. This is like, and with Tim DMing, Chuck, you can just imagine how bad it was. Yeah, absolutely.
I can imagine.
D&D just got, for whatever reason, it got a bad rep in the beginning, and it took it a while to shake it, and then it just kind of went away after a while, I guess.
Yeah.
So I know they're still here a little bit.
We're way past that. Absolutely.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, looking at people on TikTok when Geek Preacher's talking about this stuff, they don't have any kind of reference points. They some ancient history of long ago is all they've got. So
Darkness Rising. That's a good one. I've seen it.
Is that the one where they summon by accident? They summon the demon.
Yeah.
And everyone gets killed at the end, except like the 5 of them, right? Right. I was like, I just watched that actually.
Darkness
it was like
Rising.
mid 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has one of the guys from It's Always Sunny in it and stuff. Yeah. So it wasn't too bad. But there's some really great classics we haven't discussed yet. I mean, like.
So I would say so. Well, let's do this. And I'll go first. My favorite of all the movies in the 80s, fantasy movies, is going to be Legend. I think hands down.
Okay.
Legend. I love that movie.
And it's very tightly compacted story, and one, it's not the whole world. It's basically right there, Yeah,
they don't go into any of the backstory. You get a little bit, but not enough. It doesn't matter. None of it matters, and it's. I don't know. It's just got that fairy element all about it. Second up would be Dragon Slayer. I love Dragon Slayer, but Legend just really captured me. The music's good. I can't remember, who is it? Mia Sara, whoever. I think it's Mia Sara and Tom Cruise. The Fae looked really good, and Darkness was he was badass. I just
yes, definitely wonderful for me. Someone just said it. I mean, really, the Excalibur is just unbelievable. Right, it's an unbelievable movie.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, I love Clash of the Titans too. I just love watching that. I would say maybe that's my top 5. I'm a Hawk the Slayer person just because one of the first D&D movies I ever watched.
Hawk the Slayer was really good.
Yeah.
Dice Chuck, to answer your question, the theatrical release. I tend to, because I think my brain is very impressionable. Whatever I see first, I like best. It's like Blade Runner. I love Blade Runner's maybe one of the best made films I've ever seen. And that I love it when he's narrating it. I don't really like the director's cuts. I really like the theatrical release because Harrison's yig-yagging talking in it. I love that. Absolutely love that stuff.
And if we go into the 90s, 13th Warrior is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Great movie.
I'll tell you one that I liked was, and you're going to laugh, you guys are going to laugh, I loved Time Bandits. I know it was funny.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
I loved that
movie. It's a good one, too.
Time Bandits was good, and probably up there with that would be, if I had to think about it, you took Excalibur's up there. I really like it, but I liked Willow, too. I mean, I know that's...
Willow you gotta love Willow.
I mean, Willow had... they had the hanging cages, man. On the side of the road, the birds picking at their flesh. It was killer,
That dragon in Willow is actually badass.
Yes.
That final scene... And Willow's one of the few movies, I think, that tried to do armor kind of that soldier, so that all the soldiers were just like... And it didn't look goofy.
No.
In Lady Hawk, it looked a little bit odd with I think didn't they have like red armor or something like that. I'll tell you one movie that reminds me of a movie I could not stand. This movie. This is probably 80s. First Night with Richard Gere.
Oh God, no!
Oh
God!
But you know what movie actually got me set as far as D&D goes, as far as role playing and stuff. I mean, I started playing when I was 9 years old, and I remember the earliest movie I can remember watching as a kid that had anything to do with that was, and you're going to laugh even funny about this, was The Holy Grail. And
Monty Python? No,
because it had so much. It had the Green Knight in there. It had the knight. It had all those knights, and to me that was just, I don't know. It was just centric to what I was doing.
They didn't have any horses though.
No, they didn't need horses. But I mean, that whole fight with the Black Knight and None Shall Pass thing. Me and my brother both were just like, it just blew our minds. We loved it.
The Frenchman takes the whole show away.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
My initial GIFs before my Legends of the Seeker GIFs on my channel, I had a couple of Monty Python ones. The runaway one for raid and stuff. Yeah, I had some of those.
Wait, you said GIF?
Yeah, GIF, whatever the hell.
We're gonna have to have a stream about that later, okay?
Yeah, stop it with the South Jersey accent.
It's GIF. It's GIF.
I don't care what the hell it is. It's peanut butter. So yeah,
Sparky says the Frenchmen show up in his CNC games a lot.
Oh my God, they were awesome when they launched that. When they hauled that rabbit. Oh my God, that's some good stuff.
That was one of the movies when we first showed it to my children. I guess Pete was 6 or 7 or something, and the Black Knight scene. He laughed so hysterically. We had to pause the movie because he couldn't catch his breath. He just would not stop laughing. It was so funny.
When I went to my mother-in-law and asked her if it would be okay to marry my wife, I told her, I said, I have got huge tracts of land. No, I didn't really. I made that up. But.
All right, so Dice Chuck's brought up a great one that's often forgotten.
Fire and Ice.
Fire and
Ice. Great animated flick. Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely great one. And I have to say, if I was to list my favorite, it's going to be Legend, Dragon Slayer, and Excalibur, but Heavy Metal might.
Oh my God, Heavy Metal, man!
I Am 10.
And you remember Wizards? Wizards? You remember the movie Wizards? Wizards.
Yeah,
yes,
that's from the 70s. Yes. Ralph Bakshi.
Yeah,
great movie.
Yeah. It is
great movie.
The whole concept about a million years in the future is really disturbing when you think about it. And they're playing the videos of it's really when you think it is really thought provoking.
Yeah, it really is. And then they got these bits and pieces, and I don't want to give any spoilers away, but it's got that the ending is fantastic. Mom taught me one thing she never taught you, you son of a. It was a great moment. Loved Wizards. Absolutely love that movie. I'm a huge fan of that whole genre. There's a comic book, a trilogy. I can never remember the name of it. I talk about it all the time. That was, I don't know if Bakshi did it, but Wizard World, I think. And it's about this kind of circular world with this whole, anyways, it's little elves, tiny little elves. It's just I love that whole kind of, and I say this being a ginormous Tolkien fan, before kind of Tolkien took the whole fantasy community by storm. And it all has to be kind of Tolkien-esque, that type of stuff. All these movies in the 80s, the heavy metal, all of that stuff, there was no Tolkien influence in it. It was just...
No?
They made fantasy movies, right? Stories, whatever. Yeah. And that's pretty damn cool.
As opposed to D&D, which is all Tolkien, We won't go there.
Yeah, and yet again, we segue into a whole other area of discussion.
I know. We don't want to go there. We don't want to go there.
That's where The Hobbit, I enjoyed the Lord of the Rings movies, but The Hobbit lost me when Bomber turned into a transformer, when they're coming out of the barrel and his hands and feet stick out. And
You're talking about the newer version, not the animated.
Yeah, the newer version. Oh,
I love the animated versions. I love them. Yeah,
I actually love the animated version of the Lord of the Rings, too. Better than Return of the King.
Right, because they stop at Helm's Deep and that's it in the Bakshi movie. But
if you look at it closely, now Todd and Mark, they can pick out these. If you look at that Lord of the Rings movie closely, most of those scenes that have orcs in them or the Nine Riders are from other movies.
Oh,
that they did some kind of it was a new type of animation, and it cut back on their production costs.
Really,
I think El Cid. You see a lot of scenes from El Cid in there.
Really?
Mark can pick them apart. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm pretty sure the Nine Riders coming down on the river is directly from.
I'm going to watch now and see this.
There's
probably a YouTube video somewhere, like 3 hours long, of somebody comparing the shit somewhere. But,
probably somewhere. Rotoscoping. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was cool.
Speaking of love, did we talk about Princess Bride? I mean, we got to talk about that.
Oh, that's great, man. That's another great one. With the what was the swamp of
Peter Falk
Fire? Was that it? Right? Fire Swamp. That's it.
Yeah.
Fire Swamp.
Yeah.
And the what is it? The Baron, whatever count that can track a falcon on a cloudy day. Come on. That whole movie from opening to close is great. It's got, what is it? You keep using that word, inconceivable or whatever.
Yes.
Whatever.
I don't think you mean
A Flight of Dragons. I don't know.
What's that?
Dice Chuck was mentioning a movie called A Flight of Dragons. I don't think I've seen that. James Earl Jones.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either.
I got a lot of now. I mean, I got a lot of really bad ones on my list here, including.
All right, let's bring them out.
Yeah, bring them out.
Are you sure? All right.
Yeah, but I got to write down. G-Mark has written a couple of Bakshi stuff I've never heard of, so I'm going to write those down before I
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't see
Bakshi did. Yeah, we did one way back when and did some. What was the worst of all time? And it came up between Highlander 2: The Quickening and She. They were the two for the worst of all time. But I got some really bad ones here. I mean, who can forget who can forget that King Arthur movie? Any of the King Arthur movies in the last 20 years have been terrible, right?
Only one I remember is the one that was done by Disney.
Wait, are you talking about the one? And this literally made we watched
Clive Owen.
All of us busted out laughing when they come into the room and there's a round table and someone says this is a round table and someone else says that is evil. You cannot have a round table or something.
Yeah, the Romans. Yeah, Clive Owen. Yeah.
Horrible.
The Saxons were in there. Saxons had crossbows 500 years before the crossbow.
You're talking about the one up there, the one where he goes beyond the wall or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, with the road. It's just.
That was kind of wacky.
There's one great line in it. It's finally someone on this island worth killing. We'll say that occasionally.
Well, I'm glad that they actually brought attention to Hadrian's Wall, though. That was kind of historically cool. But then,
there you go.
It was cool, but it was. So, what do you think of this movie? This is Connery, Sword of the Valiant.
I don't know if I've seen
Connery's the Green Knight in it.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to look that up now.
Yeah,
that sounds very familiar.
Yeah. It's circulating in the Green Knight. It's called Sword of the Valiant. Yeah.
Now wait a minute. What didn't Sean Connery do a movie where he plays Robin Hood? That's not this one.
No, that's Robin and Marion. That's Robin and Marion. This one, he's the actual Green Knight in it, and he's got a small role.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, Dorgan says Sword of Valiant was kind of weird when I saw it. That's one you may want to watch, Stephen. It's what year is it? It's 1984. It looks like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Miles O'Keefe is the main character. Yep.
I'll check that one out.
I'm gonna put this up on the stream.
So that's not on one of your worst lists.
It's okay. It's close. It's close. I mean,
I'm not. Said it was great.
No, I said, what did you think about it? Yeah, Caddyshack. That's funny. So, how about this one with Tanya? You ever see Hearts and Armor?
Oh my God! So that's the one, Chuck. I got you to watch. You and Steph watched, but I told you I gave parental warning on it.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't it.
Tanya Roberts.
Oh no! What am I thinking of? Blood and the Rose. Blood.
Blood.
The Name of the Rose.
The Rose and the Blood. Or
Name
something.
of the Rose. No, not Name of the Rose. It's Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
They named
Lady Hawk.
No, it's got two names to it.
Oh my God!
All right, someone out there's gonna know. It's like the blood and the rose, or the blood and.
That was the second version of it. Yes.
Okay, Flesh and Blood. That's what I'm.
Flesh and Blood.
Flesh and Blood. Yeah.
That's a great movie, but be prepared for some shuddering.
Yeah, we'll get to that one in a second.
Okay,
now, what was this? What did you mention, Jay?
It's called Hearts and Armor, and Tanya Roberts is in it, and it's the Moors against the Christians. Oh yeah, take a look at that one.
I know, I've seen that one. I gotta grudgingly admit, I liked She only because of Xenon. When Xenon gets his legs cut off, it just saves the whole movie.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because that's post-apocalyptic over more D&D, but because they got all sorts of things going on. It's like it's a strange movie, but Samuel Bergman's in it too, so that's a good. But it has got no real plot at all.
No. It's like it's got a little fantasy, a little science fiction, a little World War II. It's got a little bit of everything in it.
It does.
So now, have you seen Flesh and Blood?
I've never seen Flesh and Blood. No.
Oh, wow.
I've not seen that. That's one I haven't seen.
There's two versions of it, and it is
two versions, really.
Yeah, there's Flesh and Blood. And I can't something the Rose or something.
I'm gonna look at it
because
I'll tell you
the original one, Flesh and Blood, it's got a rape scene in it. It's got a lot of violence in it. It's got plague scenes in it. It's got just people burned alive, and it's essentially this band of mercenaries in the 30 Years' War kidnap this young noblewoman and take her to a castle, and then her bride or husband-to-be comes to rescue her. And what precedes is the next 2 hours of fantastic Rutger Hauer stuff. Just a great. But try to get Flesh and Blood. But it's an adult.
Yeah, I love Rutger Hauer. I definitely love Rutger Hauer. I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, the name of that. The other version of it was, I got it right here.
Why did they make a second version?
They cut all that
crap.
Oh.
Yeah, they cut all that.
I think when it came out to video, like in Blockbuster and whatnot, to get it out, they had to really trim it back.
Wow.
Yeah, they had to. They were told to, so they had to. But now, in their defense, if he hadn't warned me, Well, this is the wrong thing, but this will work. There's a picture of it right there. That's them. But if Steve hadn't warned me about it, I would have not been prepared for what I saw. I'm telling you,
it gets pretty brutal.
it is really
Good
brutal.
family fun.
What year?
Flesh and blood. Good family fun.
What year was that from?
85.
Yeah,
Wow, that's right when I would have
And-
thought
I don't know if I saw that at the movie theater. Surely I did. I honestly can't
that's
remember.
a little. Yeah, I just don't remember that ever being out. Wow, good family fun. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
definitely.
it's a good movie, but I'm telling you, they don't hold back on that first release.
Yeah,
Wow.
Go into it, eyes wide open, or whatever that
All right.
Scorsese. is.
So
the second, it's called The Rose and the Sword was the second one, the second version. Of it.
one of the worst D&D genre movies I ever saw involved what's his name from Bull Durham and Shawshank Redemption. What the hell's his name? Tim. Yeah, exactly.
Tim something.
And that's Eric the Viking.
Oh.
It's
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins. Yeah, I remember seeing that at the theater and enjoying it. But I tried to watch it the other day and I couldn't make it 5 minutes into it. I was like, what? Was I inebriated or what?
Yeah, no.
It's got one funny thing, and that's when they're trying to figure out who goes on what side of the boat, and that was the funny joke. Like, all the guys with beards on one side. That's bad luck. That was it. That was the only funny line in the entire movie. I mean, it's just like, yeah,
Now,
Leaf's not so lucky.
Is that a Terry Gilliam movie or Terry Jones, whoever did the Time Bandits and whatnot? Is that?
I am not sure.
I don't know.
But it could be. It's stepped down there. So on that one, but yeah. So it has its once in a blue moon moments there, Dice Chuck.
Yeah,
you're right. But Terry Gilliam.
It wasn't very good.
No, it was pretty bad. But hey, you get some bad ones here and there. I've seen
it's one of those things I think in that I don't really know. Was it Conan? What spurred all these fantasy movies in the 80s?
I don't know.
It had to have been Conan, surely.
Conan did, because I don't think Excalibur that was that type of movie. I think that was more artsy type.
Yeah.
But it has to be. What year was Conan? 83 or 82? Conan was early.
Yeah, maybe it's 81. I really don't know.
That early? Wow. Yeah.
Because that seems. I can't remember. It just seems to be a lot in the 80s. There was this whole crop of fantasy movies from very good to very bad.
Yeah,
and maybe we get them now. I just miss them. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be many of these.
Well, I mean, you've got, if you want to go crazy, you've got the Corsican Brothers. You've got, what was that? Indiana Jones and all that stuff. I mean, it's just kind of like
the adventure genre.
Well,
yeah. We forgot we haven't even talked about Beastmaster really that much.
No,
I mean, Beastmaster's another one, but they made 4 of those. A lot of them were like people don't even remember. They made 4 Beastmasters. Yes, they did, which is really crazy. Yeah.
The first Beastmaster was pretty cool. I just got Kenny Roberts. My only complaint on Beastmaster is those 2 weasels. That was the only thing that.
Pogo and Pogo.
Yellowbeard, that's it, Bill.
Pogo, yeah.
Yellowbeard. So,
Conan was 82.
Someone mentioned this. Wait, there was another one that they did like 4 of these fantasy movies. Damn it.
Deathstalker.
Yeah.
Yes, that's another high quality film.
Yeah, Deathstalker. Barbarians is another one. That's pretty bad too. Ator is another one.
I don't know.
There's a bunch of them, like Yor.
Blade Master. There's a lot of them from that genre. They're all.
Saw that not long ago. Moot.
So if I do a Google for 1980s fantasy movies about witchcraft, guess what movie comes up first?
Excalibur.
Conan the Barbarian, followed by Beastmaster.
Huh.
That's Google for you.
I mean,
you're the hunter from the future.
you gotta admit though, in Excalibur, Helen Mirren was spot on back then.
Oh, that movie was so good, and that whole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They did a good job with that movie.
Open to close in that movie. I absolutely loved Excalibur. I love the dude who played Merlin. I liked his whole take on Merlin. It was just, and then the first siege, I guess, where Arthur is convincing everybody to follow, was a fantastic scene. Absolutely fantastic scene.
Oh no, that was good stuff, man.
Patrick Stewart, it was all around back then. He was in that. He was in the original Dune. Yeah. People forget that.
Yeah. Dune. We didn't even talk about Dune.
Yeah.
He's Leon deGrance, isn't he? I think he's Leon deGrance.
Yes.
Leon deGrance. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Absolutely. And Liam Neeson's in that too.
Is he really?
Yes, he is. He is. He is
I'm gonna have
Gawain.
to rewatch it.
He's Gawain. Sir
he
Gawain
Gawain? I don't
in Excalibur.
remember
Yes, absolutely.
All right,
I'm
we're going to watch
have to
Excalibur
rewatch
then.
that. Holy crap!
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't remember that. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie. Now this is probably 60s and one of my favorite, and it's not even fantasy or D&D. It's medieval. The Lion in Winter with Peter O'Toole, and the only reason I think of that is because the guy who plays Arthur in Excalibur plays King John or Prince John in the movie The Lion in the Winter. It's fantastic.
What year's
movie.
that?
So that's probably 67, 68, something like that. Maybe 70s. I don't know. It's got Katharine Hepburn. Anthony Hopkins plays Richard. Just an absolutely fantastic. If you haven't watched it, it's not a lot of battle. Just a great movie.
If you want to go back and see a really cool movie from the 60s, it's so hard to find. It never came out on DVD. You can see it on Turner Classic Movies Once in a Blue Moon, and that is Alfred the Great. Right, Michael York's actually the bad guy. Where the Dane, yes, and Ian McKellen is in it. He is the leader of the bandits in that, and he's got black hair, no beard, 6 foot. He's huge. He's like 6'5" or whatever, tall guy, and he's in that. The guy who plays the announcer in Gladiator, because he died during the filming of Gladiator. The guy with the wig on, that he's Alfred the Great in that movie. So,
wow! Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's hard to find. Very hard.
I'll have to dig around for it. It's
about driving the Danes out of England. Yeah,
I've just finished last year.
Thank you, Nigel Terry, Vic. Thank you.
There you go. The Last Kingdom. That's got King Alfred in it.
That's a good one.
And Vikings too.
That's a good series, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, both of those series are great. I think season 5 just dropped or is.
I've been waiting on that forever, man. There's been a few of those shows they drag that out, and then other ones they just seem to churn them through. You know, like another one which has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Of course, is Peaky Blinders. I absolutely love that show. But
a lot of people love that.
Yeah, and it's due for its last season, I think. Now they usually only about 5 seasons now. You know,
they just dropped. I think.
Did it? Good.
So Cillian Murphy's in that now. He wasn't in the beginning, but he was in it the last. The guy who plays Scarecrow in the first Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about with the eyes?
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So my son, my wife's pregnant back in 2010, and I say, what about Cillian? You know, because he was named, and she goes, no effing way are we naming our kid Cillian. Because that Welsh name, you know. So I got Ian as his middle name. That's all I got. So yeah,
you got something out of it.
Yeah, got something out of it. But yeah, that's a good movie. That's a good show.
Let me ask you guys a question. I know we're talking about movies in the 80s, and this movie's not in the 80s, but I have to ask. I showed this to Steve back when it was just in production, and he said, I got to check that out. Have either one of you watched The Duel yet?
No, but I know some people who said it was really good.
It will blow your mind. It's so good.
Really?
Ridley Scott pulled it off, man. I mean,
that's Ridley Scott's hands down my favorite director.
I'm telling you, Steve, he pulls it's slick. So he has a story, right? He has a story. But what he does, and this is the only spoiler I'm going to give you, is you don't really realize it's happening, but he starts telling the story from a different perspective, from another character in the group. So it's cool. It's so cool, and it's so medieval. It's medieval. It's good.
Good, I'll watch it. I haven't watched The Green Knight. Isn't that out? That's still out. I haven't watched that yet.
I heard it's a hard watch.
Which one?
That's what The Green Knight. That's what I'm hearing. I think it's on Netflix. I don't know. It's on something.
I'll have to figure it out.
A doll movie that was set in ancient Greece. Remember the Cyclops in the movie? It had humans and dolls mixed in.
What?
It was bad to look at, but the story was great for a young me.
Why did I think of Barbarella when he said that?
Oh my God,
Barbarella! You need to be high to watch Barbarella. Wow.
I mean, I thought of the dolls. Remember they had the teeth
is like
or whatever.
Psychedelic City.
You know,
Duran. That's where Duran came from.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what is the Sean Connery movie where he's in the banana hammock? What is that? That's from the 60s.
Oh my God,
too.
what is that called? Oh, it's Zardoz.
Zardoz.
That's it.
Sean Connery. Yeah. That's why Josh Pop has a picture of the Zardoz head, and I never even heard of it. I was like, that's bizarre too.
Yeah,
my gosh.
There was a lot of weird movies, but I'll tell you one of my favorite movies, and it's probably 60s, maybe 70s. I don't know. Logan's Run.
Yes, 76. 1976. Yes, and that's Michael York as well. And it's also
it is actually Michael York.
Yeah, and we had to talk about this, Chuck. It's the guy who was the backup for the Equalizer. He died in 93. We talked about this.
Yeah, I remember
on the one stream. Yeah, God, Richard Jordan was the guy chasing him, his friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
in that movie. Yeah,
got Farrah Fawcett in it too, and I can't remember the other actress.
Jenny Agute. Jennifer Agute.
They need to remake that and put the Pink Floyd song "Run" in there with it.
So,
that would be good. You better run.
Trivia question: Who starred in the Logan's Run TV show?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I remember it, but I didn't see it. Who was our star? Who we got?
Gregory Harrison.
Really?
Yes. And they had a Farrah Fawcett knockoff as the girl with him. So they turned but that lasted like it was like Planet of the Apes. It lasted one season because it was not very good.
Not very good. I like those. The first couple of Planet of the Apes movies were pretty good. Of course, that's 60s, right? That's 69, 68, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, I still haven't. Oh, sorry. I'm replying to a text.
Yeah, Logan's Run predated Star Wars. Yes, it did.
I haven't seen that Solomon Kane movie. I want to see it. I keep hearing it's really good.
Dude, Dice Chuck is 100% right. It is a great movie. It is.
Watch it.
And I love that actor. What's his name? James Purfoy.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that actor. He does something, Iron and something. He did a movie in the 90s or the aughts where he's defending a castle against King somebody the other and some Viking mercenaries. What is that? That's Iron and Iron and Blood. Is that it?
Good one about
really good. The only thing about say about Iron and Blood, some of the directing gets because they try to do that. Saving Private Ryan when they're coming off the boat and the shaky cameras thing. They try to carry that over into the medieval, and it doesn't work as well.
Willie brought up a good thing. The Planet of the Apes movies.
Ironclad, that's what it is.
Oh, Ironclad.
The remakes?
The originals. I love the originals. Get your dirty hands off me, you damn dirty ape, or whatever he said,
Yeah.
It's classic.
The first two I loved. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But then after that, they got
they got a little crazy there. Like they
got the budget dropped.
So if you want to talk like some 90s, 2000s, earlier D&D movies, Jason Statham did a Dungeons and Dragons movie. By the way, if you don't know that,
I did know that. What is that called?
In the name of the no, I forget. Oh my gosh, it was a no. Oh my god.
He said, Omid said no. John Derek
is not in agreement.
No.
Yeah, the name of the king. That's it. I was close. Yes.
I don't remember being horrified by that movie, but maybe I was. I don't know.
It was based on a computer game. It was based on one of the computer games that came out at the time. Yes.
Hold on. I don't remember this.
Yes.
That's fine.
Dungeon Siege. That's it. It was a Dungeon Siege movie. Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
I remember this poster. I don't think I ever saw it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to make Omut flinch because he and I argued years ago about this at a couple of Gen Cons. So it's not really a fantasy movie, but it's got a fantasy segment in it. It's one of the best ever made. Sucker Punch.
Oh yeah.
That scene where they're fighting the orcs and the dragon and the B-17 or whatever the hell it is. That is a fantastic, fantastic scene. I actually love Sucker Punch from open to close. I love that movie.
So they were talking. Do you remember Discover magazine from the 70s and 80s?
Yep.
It was a great science fiction magazine, and they were talking about the greatest D&D game that had been going on for 5 years. And at the end, they ripped off from Doctor Who. It was to find the key to time, right? And that was a Doctor Who thing. And they were fighting frickin' Darth Vader in a D&D thing. And I'm thinking, this is, he's flying around in his I'm like, what the hell? This doesn't sound like D&D, but that was like the thing. They crossed genres, like Metamorphosis Alpha and all that. Expedition of Barrier Peaks. That was the big thing back then.
It's not really until probably the late 80s, early 90s that everything seems to kind of, solidify into these genres of what this is and what that is. If you look at my book collection in there, when I was in college and actually starting about sophomore in high school, I started buying fantasy novels. And you could go, there was just, I don't know, there were so many fantasy novels to choose from. None of them were like Tolkien. They were just stories, whatever this person concocted in their head. It wasn't about world building. It wasn't about any of that stuff. It was just these stories. And I think that the movies in the 80s, and it changes later once it solidifies. It was just crazy. You could do anything. She would be the perfect example because God, no, I don't know what that movie was about.
Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal was the same thing. Definitely had all the genres mixed in.
Every bit of it.
And
Heavy Metal.
D&D was known for that. I mean, Merlin. I mean, my gosh, the D&D Greyhawk now.
S4, isn't that the big alien spaceship?
Yeah,
crash
absolutely.
And all of that.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very cool stuff. The Ice Pirates. Oh my gosh, good one. Real good one.
Forever.
Oh my God, that's a great one. With that robots, like, it was like when they were breaking down. They would like crap their nuts and bolts out as they were walking. That movie was crazy. But back in those days, it seemed like you could make any kind of movie and it made box office money. It wasn't like today how movies just come in and it just there's just some of that stuff don't even make it.
Princess Bride's awesome.
But
movies today actually, and I don't want to sound like that old guy, but sometimes they get exhausting because there's so much special effects in it. Back off just a little bit.
That's right.
Wasn't
give us a story or dialogue.
Isn't that why The Witcher's doing well? There's some, but not a ton of special effects.
Yeah, it's actually got like 3 story arcs in it. I'm in season 2, and it's low key. I mean, they have these really badass monsters, but it's not over the top. The remake of Clash of the Titans, I enjoyed them, but it's kind of over the top.
It's
like,
over the top. You're absolutely right. It's
not.
Like
The Hobbit.
It almost doesn't feel real.
Injected it with some meth and then let it go. It's.
I mean, you want the movies. I mean, even if it's fantasy, you still want it to be able to relate to it. You know what I mean? And not be something that's so fantastic that it's just, you know what I mean? It's
right. And and after a while, it just gets. I can't even. It's just exploding stuff.
That's my biggest problem with I was telling somebody the other day about this. All of these superhero movies that have come out in the last few years, I don't really enjoy them. But the shows that are on Netflix and Prime and all these shows, I love those because it's like real world problems they go through. It ain't about saving the universe. It's about, oh, well, I've lost my identity or I need a new job or whatever. It's just different, I really enjoy that. And the anti-hero stuff is kind of cool.
The only one of those TV shows I actually watched, because the superhero movies kind of just lost me. Somewhere around Avengers 2, I was like, okay, this is the same thing. We're doing the same thing over and over again. That's fine, whatever. And I go, and it's like eye candy. I don't want to take away from those movies. They're cool, whatever, epic scenes. But I really enjoyed The Punisher. Whatever the guy from Walking Dead, whatever. I don't know that guy's name.
Yeah.
Oh, the TV series. I like the first Punisher movie too.
Yeah, they're pretty good, but that TV series, it's got extraordinary violence.
It's weird. It's like the shows are way better than the movies and all this stuff now. It's very strange.
But I don't want to take away from those, those superhero movies, because let's face it, that moment that Captain America picks up that hammer was pretty badass.
No, that's for sure.
Pretty cool.
I just got a little tired at the end about that too, but that's why I found these shows to be refreshing. Every one of them, the Loki one and the Wanda one, all those are they're really good. I mean, because you almost don't even I'll tell you another one that
can't
DC's
do
got
them
out.
as a movie.
No, what's the other show that I've enjoyed that DC's put out with a group of guys, the anti-heroes, another anti-hero type of thing. It's
Never heard of it.
No, the name of the group is, you'll know when I tell you. They all got their own problems, and they're not even really a fighting force yet. What is it? The DC show? They've on like the 4th or 5th season. Not Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're kind of part of the whole Suicide Squad, I think.
The one with Jessica Jones and all those all together.
No, it's got what's his name in it? Brendan Fraser. What is it called? Doom Patrol. Thank you, Kadora. Good Lord, I could not think of it. That stuff is awesome. When I first watched it, again, I didn't make it but like three shows. I went back and tried to watch it. I am so hooked. It's hilarious, man. But it's
Josh, you missed Zardoz's discussion. You weren't on
it's very serious though. It's a very serious.
You already missed Zardoz.
Yeah, you just came and went. You should check that out, Steve. It's good.
Yeah. I think that a lot of these movies that came out in the 80s, because we got so many of them, and like a lot of this stuff, sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss, and then you get jewels like The Princess Bride that are just badass movies. Or whatever, Excalibur, there's a whole bunch of them that we're probably missing. And I think that part of the issue today is that they do so much special effects that the movies are so expensive that you can't just kind of take a shot. You know what I mean? You get I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing them in the right place. Maybe there's more on cable or whatever they call it now, that streaming, that I don't see. But it just doesn't seem like there's many out there.
There's a lot.
I would love.
Unfortunately,
way
too much for me. I can't.
It's sci-fi, but Flash Gordon's so campy.
I've been stuck on Narcos.
Yeah.
This whole thing with Narcos that I'm almost done with it, Steve. I'm almost done.
Narcos is very good
to go. But I mean, it's
someone mentioned. Go ahead, Chuck.
I was going to say one movie that we hadn't talked about that was there that is classic is. Well, I liked it anyways, and it was so campy. Even back then, it was campy. It was Flash Gordon.
Yeah, but come on, Ted has Flash Gordon and Ted
the whole
2
football,
has both movies.
It's like, right, I know, I loved it. Don't get me wrong.
There was a Flesh Gordon that came out.
Yes, we all know about Flesh Gordon. Yes.
So now here's one. You guys have probably seen it. I never saw it. I think it's like a staple of the 80s genre movies, and it's Battle Beyond the Stars. I never saw it.
Oh, that's a good movie.
No.
That's a good movie.
I didn't see that one either.
It's good. No. It's actually really good.
Everyone at my table, Todd, everyone, Chris, Mac, they've seen it over and over again, but I've never seen it.
Huh, really?
I didn't know that, Chuck. Star Wars was supposed to be Flash Gordon, but Lucas couldn't get the rights, so he had to. Hell, he better off to invite his own.
Yeah, he definitely made up for it.
Oh my gosh!
Talk about
John Boy in Space. Yes, I watched all the Waltons, so I know. My mom loved that show, and I sat and watched the Waltons with my mother. So I've seen all of them.
Yeah, which boils down to Seven Samurai. Absolutely, Josh. Absolutely, which I love.
So it looks like we went through every single one. I have one left, and it was a post-apocalyptic D&D style movie, and it starred Patrick Swayze.
Oh yes,
Steel Dawn.
Yes.
Here's one.
It's the last one from my list.
All right, here's one to add to that list.
That one, right? That's the
What's
one
that?
with the desert. A lot of desert in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What was the one with the RV trailer and the giant cockroaches? Remember?
That's Damnation Alley.
Damnation Alley. That was great.
George Papard,
yes.
Jackie Earl Haley, and with the dude from Airwolf, who was in Banana Splits.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what was his name? Jan Michael Vincent.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? That was Damnation Alley.
Classic right there. There's some good ones in the chat. Some good ones up here. Like
beat you to it, Josh.
Yeah.
There was one that I saw when I was so young, so it was early 70s, and it might have been, I don't think it was Damnation. It scared the crap out of me. I can't remember what it was. Death Race, maybe?
Death Race 2000.
2000.
So
the original one, was that called Death Race 2000?
David Carradine.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone's in that.
Yeah. Really?
Yes. That's one of his first movies. I think Fist or That is one of his first movies. Yes. Sylvester Stallone is in.
So is that early 70s? When would that have come?
I think it's 76 or 7.
I would have been too old to get. Something scared me in those days.
Yeah.
Some one of those post-apocalyptic movies. I don't know who the hell.
There was
a bunch of them.
I don't even know, honestly. I don't know where I saw these movies. I remember the first time I drove myself to a movie to watch it in my own car and paid my own way was Ghostbusters. So that's 81 or 82 or whatever that was. 83, I don't know. But
well, I was going to say, there was a lot of movies back then. It wasn't as much. It's weird. It's like growing up, you could watch this stuff on regular TV, no problem.
Yeah, I think maybe I saw a lot on Saturday. Now, I did live on an army post, and we could walk to the theater, and I know we did that a lot, so I probably saw a lot. Would Sword and the Sorcerer made it? Surely it was a theatrical release. Surely.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, it just seemed like back then movies you could, because like I remember watching. I'm almost 1,000% sure that when I first watched Holy Grail with my brother when we were little, it was on like BBC or something weird. Yeah. And it was just nowadays you'd have to pay to watch it, obviously. You know.
Yeah, you got to track it.
I saw Dark Star on PBS. That's where I first saw Dark Star.
Really?
I know.
See?
What a movie!
The greatest movie of all time. I love that movie. I don't even know if it's campy. Is it campy?
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
It's just so cheaply done, and it's so different. That the beach ball painted as the alien.
And they deflate it by accident. Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
But the ending of that movie.
Yes, smart bombs. Yes, Josh, absolutely.
The one guy gets picked up by that floating star cluster.
Yeah.
And then the other guy gets on the surfs. Yeah, gets on the ladder to surf. I found a way Talvey, I found a way. I absolutely love that movie. Chuck, have you seen Dark Star?
Chuck, no.
Chuck, you got to go watch Dark Star. All right,
Dark Star. You
sure?
got to.
All
Look
right.
at that.
Yes, Sarathon, the smart bomb. Yeah. It becomes self-aware. The bomb becomes self-aware.
Yes. They never really. It's one of those movies, you don't need reasons for anything. So,
like the Stephen King movie with all the trucks that came alive. Remember that?
What was that?
What was that movie called? Remember? People were terrified because of the semis that were going to kill them.
Well, that's like Christine.
No, not Christine. I'm talking about the one with all the trucks.
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive. I mean, it was
great thing.
What? You just cut off the gas pumps. No problem. You know, it's like, I don't.
It's chasing Emilio Estevez around the parking lot.
Yeah, the truck with the Green Goblin on it. That's right, Grape. Yeah, the Green Goblin. I remember that. Oh my God! And watching the movie growing up, I didn't think nothing about it. You look back and you think they have to have gas to run. So you just, or you take the battery out or something. I don't know. It's not like It's not like an animal or something. It's like it's a band.
I never got into Stephen King too much. I just,
I loved his books. I still love his books, and to this day, his magnus opus that I absolutely love, The Dark Tower, was ruined by Hollywood. We won't get into that. That's another stream. I could go on that for hours about how they pissed me off. But it's amazing how he wound all of his other books into that story. It's insane. Like
That's
you're
interesting.
You're reading it, and you're like, wait, this is The Stand, or wait, this is Dragon's Eye, or whatever. It's amazing. But the movie.
Now, you don't like Stephen King, but I like, John Carpenter, Duel, and the original Assault on Precinct 13, classics.
Yes. Those are good movies.
Dennis Weaver, I think, is in Duel, yeah.
I don't know that surely I saw some of Stephen King's movies. I know I saw Christine. I vaguely remember that. And Maximum Overdrive. That's a Stephen King thing, isn't it? I think that's Stephen King. I think Machines.
No, I've read somewhere about that Dice Check that Stephen King does not like. He prefers to do cameos, but he doesn't like the movies that's been done throughout his books. He doesn't like any of them, I don't think.
That's why the Stand's been redone. It's been redone. They've all been redone multiple times in movies. When you think about it,
I got pissed when they did it. Oh my God! Somebody please come out with a decent Stand movie. Come on, they could do it.
I think you have to do horror correctly. You have to have a really good director. I mean, you got to have someone who has a different vision than,
Yes,
most of these people are just doing a shock effect. I could never get into those Friday the 13th movies.
Duel.
I got into them early on, like maybe the first or second one, but then it just got kind of stupid after that. You know what I mean?
Trouble in China is awesome.
So Dice Chuck.
Okay.
So
Duel was
a very good friend of mine. Chuck, you've met him. Tyler Moe used to work for Troller Games.
That's Tyler Moe?
No, that's not Tyler Moe.
Oh, I'm very confused.
He almost took my geek card away because of this, because I have never seen Trouble in Little China.
I've never seen it. All right, never stop the stream, folks. We're kicking him off. What is wrong with you? You got to see that movie.
That's a good one to watch. That's a good one to watch one time.
That's like
I love Kurt Russell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love Kurt Russell. Absolutely love Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's
like a classic. I don't know how many cons always have that movie running in some room somewhere that you walk in and just watch. It's like a staple. Escape from New York. Oh my God.
That's good. That's good too.
York, Snake Plissken. Escape from LA was not good.
No, it's separate, completely. I mean, the surfboard ruined it for me, man. That whole surfboard scene.
At least Bruce Campbell's in Escape from L.A.
Well, I love Bruce Campbell. He's fantastic. Yeah. But my God, they pulled the stops out for people to be in that movie. I mean, what do you want to do? I want to surf. Okay, no problem.
What that just reminded me, Jay. I haven't finished Bruce Campbell's the TV series. The 3 movies.
Did you like all the movies?
Yeah, the movie's great.
The TV series is excellent. It's just right, same
first
vibe.
2 episodes and then forgot about it for some idiotic reason.
Oh, it's great. I made Stephanie watch them. She wasn't very happy.
We broke Steve's geek card.
Yeah.
I'm out.
It's definitely a good watch. Watching those shows, I think he was disappointed when it got canceled. So.
Oh well, that happens.
He's done other projects.
It's got to be. You've got to be pulling in huge numbers for him to go past 2 seasons anymore. It seems like.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
it seems like that. That's very true.
Sopranos, they just rolled like with that. Let's have 15,000 episodes, which I liked it. Don't get me wrong, but it's like it has to really be bringing in the serious money, or they won't spend any money.
Look, Supernatural had 15 seasons.
Yeah, you get another.
Think about that.
Yeah,
It did.
15.
it's insane.
Yeah.
I think it hit though that demographic of young women between the ages of 16 and 22 that stuck with it
Till they were 40.
Oh,
You know, so
those boys are good looking, and then,
And,
you know what I mean?
and now the one's going to be Soldier Boy in The Boys coming up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't seen
remember
that.
my daughter-
On that. Steve, you ought to watch
My
it. It's
daughter
pretty cool.
watched that entire series. Cursed on
Once
Netflix.
you get past it, the first couple, when you get over the fact that they're just a bunch of assholes, basically, it goes so much better. It's really good. I mean, it's
tough.
they've got some good writing going on there. They really do. I mean,
I love it. I love
You
it.
start
That
hating those
makes-
guys, and you really get it. When you
Carl-
start hating somebody,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay.
Hey, Mike. Carl Urban is the best. I love him. I
Yeah.
love him in anything he does, and he's fantastic
it's
in The
good
Boys.
stuff.
And also, I've said this multiple times. I love Peacemaker. I'm sorry, it's so funny.
Man,
It's-
I watched one episode and I stopped.
Oh, my
'cause
God.
I want my wife to
haven't
watch
seen
it.
it yet.
Steve,
John Cena.
yeah,
is,
it's
you know,
fantastic.
oh
Now, it's
my
yet
God.
another.
It's on
superhero
HBO
movie.
Max.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
another
my-
one.
But
But
got
it's
HBO Max.
You got to watch. It's so you're gonna be like, what
Yeah.
the hell's going on here?
Yes.
They did the
Alright.
remake of Suicide Squad a couple years ago, and it was way better than the one with Will Smith. This one had Idris Elba.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
killer.
It was Peter Gunn, right? Peter Gunn did it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was way better. Was it Peter Gunn? Yeah, whoever did it was, and he did Peacemaker too, and it's James Gunn. I'm sorry, Peter
Yeah.
Gunn's a song.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Dun, 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 dun.
Dun,
Sorry,
yeah.
James Gunn. Yeah, and it was really good.
What'd you think of the Suicide Squad movie? It was okay, kind of forgettable. I liked Harley Quinn. What's her name? Robbie
Yeah,
something.
it was
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay, but
It's okay.
I think that's helped the franchise bring in this new stuff that they're bringing in, like the Doom Patrol
Yeah.
and like
Judge
Peacemaker
Dredd.
and all that. Because that Peacemaker,
That was good.
yet again, a series about
Sorry.
superheroes, anti or better, whatever, but it has nothing to do with. It's just, I mean, you're entranced by his crotch dance for like 15 minutes or whatever. You know, it's awesome. It's good stuff. You know.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's funny. It's really
like
over
they're
the
trying
top.
to really stay out of what they kind of got themselves trapped into for superhero stuff. You know, and I like that. Out of the box.
The anti-hero is big now.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. The anti-hero is big. I have no taste, Josh. You're absolutely correct. Pathfinder was it was probably the worst Carl Urban movie I ever saw. So, and that's
Oh,
Yeah,
that,
which one? Oh, I didn't
He
see
goes
it.
to North America.
yeah.
I
yeah,
remember
that-
seeing it. It had a cool.
Clancy
it had a
Brown's
cool,
in that too.
Yeah, it had a cool
Yeah.
poster, but I didn't.
I've blocked that movie out so that I didn't know
Yeah.
Carl Urban was in it. I don't.
Yeah, it was terrible.
There was one movie that came out maybe 5-6 years ago, Viking movie, and they end up in the New World. Damn it, I can't remember what that movie is. And the first like 40 minutes is just them on the boat, or it feels like 40 minutes.
Are you
It's
talking about the one where they
absolutely-
go and they try to grow crops, or am I thinking about something else?
No, it's
What is
pretty violent in the latter half. They're fighting Native Americans. It starts with the guy chained to a rock or something, and he kills a bunch of people to get. I don't know, and then he ends up on a boat. And then I swear it's like 30 minutes of
You need
screen
to find
time.
out. I want to see that because you
Yeah,
know what I'm
these
talking about.
six guys
Was that part of the Viking series or something? Where they go
Apocalypto.
to
That's part of the
Vineland?
Vikings. That's part of the Viking series. Yeah.
Okay,
that's-
because they had that whole village that just basically it just failed. You know.
Yeah, made no that it all kind of hemorrhaged. Okay, no, Apocalypto is one of my favorite movies.
I don't think I've seen Apocalypto.
Oh my lord, it's worth watching. Good heavens!
I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
There's another Riddick coming out. Oddman just said there's another Riddick. Oh my gosh. Really?
Oh really?
Well, I mean, if it's
Wow.
that good.
Oh man, that's cool. No. Oh, okay. Well, Riddick.
You know,
I like the Riddick movies. I really do. A new Riddick. Oh my gosh.
I liked I didn't. I mean, it was good. The last one I didn't.
No,
like.
Pitch Black's good, and the Chronicles of Riddick is good. Both those are good.
Pitch Black is
I
one of
liked
the
it.
best science fiction
I
movies
liked
I've
it.
ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
It
the
was
whole
really
when they went through what was the second movie where they kind of give you like a background of everything. What's it called? You just said it.
Chronicles of Riddick.
I really enjoyed the whole thought of that, them going around and just taking all these planets. It was kind of cool, but it reminded me of something else.
Necromongers.
Yeah, Necromongers.
He
That's
did a witchcraft movie too, didn't he? Who's that actor?
Yes, he did. He was the witch hunter.
The Witch Hunter. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was pretty good.
It was. He was alive for 700-800
Oh my
years or
God.
whatever. So.
You talking
Yes,
about-
Balkrin. Yes, that's the guy. I think Mads Mikkelsen, or however you say that. That's the Viking movie I was thinking about.
Apocalypto. I can't believe I had to look that up and saw what that was. Of course I've seen that movie. I used to use it when I taught. Oh my God. Man, my memory's shot. I couldn't remember the name of that. Are you kidding me?
There's too many. It's too many movies.
Too many.
It's embarrassing.
Well, we touched a lot of them tonight. That was really cool.
We did, and we did touch on adventure stuff. Somebody asked about
I've got a
Raiders
list of like 6 things to go watch. So this is a
yes. I would recommend out of all of them that I would recommend if you can find Alfred the Great. It's from the '60s.
Okay.
It's dated for that, but it is a good movie. It is really good.
I think that decade is so overlooked for medieval movies. There's a Charlton Heston movie. You guys have probably seen it. I don't know what the damn thing's called, from the 60s, where he's like a knight, a Norman knight who gets a keep on the coast of Normandy. And he ends up, and it's small. I mean, it's 3 floors. He ends up fighting some Vikings that come in. It's very low key. I'll have to look that up. No, it's not El Cid, guys, Chuck. That's a great movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
I cannot remember the name. Heston film. No, it's not El Cid. El Cid is fantastic. Charlton Heston's fantastic in it. Let's see if I can look it up real quick.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
It is really good, and it's low key. You know, it's not nothing over the top.
Oh, I just got through watching the Vikings.
With Tony Curtis. Wow,
that is a good. No, it's good. The Vikings is good, but now it's Steve's the one that turned me on to that.
It's about Vikings. It's from a Viking perspective.
Yeah.
So it drops all
Warlord. They're saying it's the Warlord.
Warlord. That's the one. Yes.
Okay, never saw it.
Check that out.
All right, I'm gonna find that.
Yeah.
Valhalla Rising.
That's the crazy Viking movie with the long boat ride. Valhalla Rising. Yeah.
Oh my God. Somebody write all this down for me. I'll never remember all of it. But this is Warlord.
You got the video, Chuck. You got the video.
Just scan back. All right. Well, I think we've run over our allotted time for tonight.
I forgot to give a giveaway tonight. So if everybody tomorrow night, I've been talked into this, so because I've got everything working on I'm actually streaming this show tonight. So tomorrow night, we're going to attempt to stream my Wednesday night game that we've been running, and I don't think I've got anything set up for an overlay, so it'll be half-assed, but that's okay. At least I'm finally getting it off the ground. Right. And we'll give away some stuff tomorrow night for you guys. So just come watch it, hang out, give Grape Ape a lot of shit, and I'll suggest these guys that play in it. A lot of them come in here, so it'll be
I know Chuck's trying to tear into my audience a little bit there because I stream on Wednesday nights too, but that's okay, Chuck. There's plenty of room for all of us. Are you sure you do?
No, I really don't. I don't remember what yesterday was. But
Legends of the Lore tomorrow night, Living Greyhawk Ket discussion.
For you guys that want to go and watch both of us at the same time, there's
can
his
have
channel
two
right there. Go check him out.
Thanks.
No, you're welcome.
I'm just gonna, if I can shout one thing. Saturday
whatever.
Saturday night special, 6 p.m. Eastern. The continuing adventures of 2 Drink Minimum. That's the name of the group. Ed Greenwood playing, right?
Nice.
Tony Winslow Brill, Eric Boyd, the father of the Forgotten Realms deities and the specialty priest, and the actor Todd Stashwick is playing in the game.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll be a big stream.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. First time got a Hollywooder playing in my game, and that's Saturday night, 6 p.m. And that'll be. And Todd will be at GaryCon as well, so we all can hang out with him.
Really?
I'm playing in,
fantastic.
I'm playing in his game. I'm playing in his game on Saturday.
Oh, is he running a game? Yeah, I didn't know that.
He's running a game. He's running 3 games. Actually, I got one of them. So, yep, it's going to be a blast. So, looking forward to hanging out with you guys at GaryCon too.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend. That's for sure. I'm looking forward to it too. It'll be good to see everybody play. I'm excited about all these games. We've got I went on there today looking around, and there's some more games for Castle Crusades on there that I know nothing about.
Well, good.
But I'm gonna hunt those guys down. You know?
Are you sure they're not? Are they virtual or in person?
In person. That's what blew my mind about it. But see, the good folk over at GaryCon, Dave Conton specifically and Skip, anybody they went ahead and just started putting everybody in the same room with us. That way it was a lot easier because it was getting kind of crazy.
Makes
sense.
So
we've got a nice Evergreen 3 is going to be filled with games. I bet you already we've got, let's see, George posted in Discord the other day, man, we've got a lot of games already filled up. So I'm going to send a post out Thursday probably showing all the games and where they're at so people can get into them before they all run out. We've got 35 games, I think.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm excited.
That's great news, but I think more importantly than that is I got to re-earn my geek card and watch Big Trouble on
yes, you do. All right, I'm going to set up a raid for Blue Box real quick, guys.
Sounds good. That's good.
Well, thanks for coming on, Jay. This has been a blast.
Thank you. It was a great discussion. We had fun. That's what it's all about.
Thank you so much for coming on. Guys, thanks for coming and watching us, too. We couldn't have done it without y'all. Y'all, even though we seem to talk and not pay as much attention, we really were reading everything, but it's hard to, but it was great.
Going back and forth.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to put, out of respect to everybody who loves the Sword and the Sorcerer, I think I'm going to put that sword in the next Monsters and Treasure book.
That would be awesome.
We can do it.
I mean, we all take stuff from movies too, and TV shows
absolutely.
and all. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Absolutely.
No, not at all.
So
we're going to raid Blue Box RPG. I'm going to be going down to see them. They're going to have a con in May. I'm going to go down there and run some games and stuff. And we kind of sponsor their channel a little bit too. They're good guys. I want to get John on here eventually as well. Maybe we can just beat him up or something. But they're doing some sort of D&D over tonight. I'm not sure what stream he's running yet, but we're going to go check him out and give him a hard time. So thanks everybody for coming. We really appreciate it. Come by tomorrow night and mock my stream if you want to, and then we'll see you Thursday for Tim's going to do World Anvil at 4 p.m. Central, and then Steve will be on for GM Tricks and Trade at 4:30.
Awesome.
Thursday. So,
Catch Jay shows both tomorrow night and Saturday at 6 p.m.
That's right.
Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday night this week. Wow.
That's right. And come watch my stream tomorrow night.
Going crazy.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good.
Have a good one. All right. Thank you guys. Fun discussion.
Everybody.
Have a good one.
Chuck, am I hitting raid now or you?
That's then taken care of.
Good.